Morning, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. It's been a while since I did a video, been a week, and I thought I'd do a video. And it's been a couple weeks since I've done a Friday Reads, and so I probably owe you a Friday Reads and tell you how reading's going. Well, pretty simple. Not a whole lot going on. We got school started here, and if you're new to the channel, I'm a social studies teacher in the middle school here in our town, and life has picked up pace for us. We are doing face-to-face learning, and most of our students are doing that. But they had the option. Students had the option of remote learning if they chose to do so. Parents could have their kids doing remote learning, and obviously, if any of the COVID stuff hits, our kids will go to remote for a couple weeks while they're in quarantine, and then they'll come back to the classroom. And so life has just been definitely an adventure. I can't even begin to tell you how many extra hours I'm putting in at school, and I already put in a lot of hours, and this is just on top of everything. And I literally have read nothing this week. It's been very rough, and it's been very, like, for my reading life, it's been very disappointing because I had some plans on what I wanted to get read, and everything's just slowed down. But that's just the way life is. But anyway, like I said, we got school started, and 2 weeks ago the teachers came back, and our keynote speaker that first day of that we were back was Bresnahan, and she was a volleyball coach at Iowa City West, and they won a state championship, and they did it through, matter of fact, they won back-to-back state championships, but they did it through a lot of adversity at their school. And she wrote a book called The Miracle Season, and very, very good book. And then they made a movie out of it, and if you've seen the movie, it's based on the true story of what happened with her volleyball team. And anyway, she gave a book to our school library, and then gave out books for sale to the teachers if they chose to. And I borrowed one from I'd show it to you, but I borrowed one from one of my fellow teachers who bought it, and I plan to buy it in the future, but she ran out of copies, so that she had on hand when she was selling. But anyway, I plan on buying it. It was a good story, and I'll try to get the picture up here so you can see it. But it is definitely a story about, just tragedy and overcoming the trials of life. And of course, we're in trials right now with the pandemic, and how education's having to change. And some of us old dinosaurs are having to do some new tricks in the classroom to make sure that we are getting stuff out remotely to our students. And it's just been, it's a big learning curve for a lot of us. And I've put in a lot of extra hours at school, and I have gotten hardly no reading done this week, and everything has just kind of slowed down. But I read The Miracle Season last weekend, and I meant to do a book chat on that, but as I said, I just haven't had any time. Honestly, after football practice, I get home and I'm just exhausted, and my 3-year-old wants attention, and of course I want to talk to my wife and my teenage daughter, who's a senior this year. And by time 8:30 comes around, and so I get home at like 6:15, and we eat dinner, and then by time 8:30 is around, I'm like exhausted and pretty much getting ready to go to bed, putting the 3-year-old down, and around 9 o'clock for bed, and I'm falling asleep. So I don't have a whole lot of new stuff that I've read. I can tell you the plans in the next 2 weeks on what I'm going to be getting after, but I plan on doing a book chat on The Miracle Season by Bresnahan. It was a very good book. It took care of my history reading challenge. I entered that challenge, and I wanted to do, that was my local history because I'm from here in Iowa, and so that ended up taking care of the local history. And it's a good story about, just like I said, overcoming trials of life. One of the main players on her team was killed in an accident, and her team had won the state championship, was looking to win it again, and this was right like a week before the season started, and so they had to put together a season and figure out what to do and how to overcome those challenges, and anyway, it was a wonderful story of an inspiration, and it was great for the school year. So that's what I read last weekend, and I had a teacher, our language arts teacher there in the middle school. She had read this book. She picked it up for her classroom and said, "You ought to read this, and I think you'll enjoy it." And I read the first chapter, but that was 2 weeks ago. And so I plan on, if I can, I want to maybe knock this out today. And while I've got a little time, because I think I'm going to take Saturday off and then get back to school work after lunch on Sunday. But anyway, it's called Ghost by Jason Reynolds, and it's about a boy who's going to be on, it looks like, the track team. I haven't gotten very far in it, but this is what the back cover says. Running. That's all that Ghost, real name Castle Cranshaw, has ever known, but never for a track team. Nope, his game has always been ball. But when Ghost impulsively challenges an elite sprinter to a race and wins, the Olympic medalist track coach sees he has something. Crazy natural talent. Thing is, Ghost is something else. A lot of anger and a past that he tries to outrun. Can Ghost harness his raw talent for speed and meld with the team, or will his past finally catch up to him? Ghost is the first of 4 books in Jason Reynolds' explosive track series about a fast but fiery group of kids who have a shot at the Junior Olympics, but they have a lot to prove first, to one another and to themselves. And so I coach middle school track, so she thought maybe I'd like this book, and so I'm going to try it out. I think it's going to be like a super fast read. I think I can get it done today and then get it back to her so she can put it in her classroom. But this boy in that first chapter, he, as teachers, we see a lot of tragedy with some of the kids that come in the classroom, and it's amazing that they're able to learn with some of the stuff that goes on, in outside of the school walls. And so this kid, what was his name? Castle Cranshaw, he's a lot like that. He's had some challenges already in the very first chapter with his father, and his father's an alcoholic, and he's very abusive, and Cranshaw's mom split up with him because of how abusive he was. And anyway, that seems to be a good book, or what could be a good book, especially for the kids and maybe some of them at school that are going through that. The other book that I've been working on, nothing new here, Nixon, Ruin and Recovery, still working on it. I haven't picked it up, and I think it's been 2 weeks because of just everything going on. The pace of life has picked up. But so I have no excuses there. I've been working on The Client by John Grisham. I've read 1 or 2 more chapters, maybe 3 since that last book, Friday Reads. And it's still good. I still enjoy it. And this is another one that if I chose this one instead to read this weekend, I could probably get it done pretty easily. But I think I'm going to get that book for school done first, so I can get it back to my fellow teacher. But anyway, that's my reading life. Teachers are going through, so like I said, some new stuff, and we're just hoping that we do things right, and having to do a lot more with our workload than what we normally do, and we already do quite a bit. But the remote learning, I'm hoping we can, we're going to make the best of this and make it so kids can still be able to learn from home and be healthy and everything else. But that's my reading life. As I said, I'm going to do a book chat on the Miracle Season, so be looking for that. And BookTube, thank you for watching. Have a great day.